Have you ever looked at your life and wondered, why am I still alone? You pray. You avoid major sins. You try your best to stay on the straight path, seeking Allah's pleasure in everything. And yet, marriage hasn't come. Not even close. If this is you, you're not broken. You're not forgotten. You may, in fact, be among those specially chosen by Allah, wrapped in His mercy, protected by His wisdom. But even those whom Allah loves can unintentionally block the very blessings they're praying for, not because they're sinful in the obvious ways, but because of hidden habits, subtle, silent behaviors that live in the shadows of good deeds. These habits may not scream for attention, but they echo in your relationships, and they might be the reason the door to marriage hasn't opened yet. This isn't about blame. It's not about shaming anyone. It's about awareness. Because when you become aware, you begin to change. Sometimes, the only thing standing between you and the partner Allah already wrote for you is a behavior you've ignored for too long. In this video, we'll explore 5 silent habits that delay marriage, even for people who appear spiritually grounded. So stay with me, because today might be the day you find the key to unlock what you thought was lost. 1. The habit of wounding. With words carry power more than we often realize. Your tongue can become a bridge or a barrier. It can comfort or cut, uplift or humiliate. Many believers, even those who stand in night prayer or fast every Monday and Thursday, fall into the trap of harmful speech. Not loud insults, but subtle daggers, sarcasm that bites, jokes that humiliate, constant corrections that embarrass. You may not raise your voice, but your words might still hurt more than you know. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Whoever believes in Allah and the last day should speak good or remain silent." This isn't just a rule for Friday khutbahs or public gatherings. It's a principle for daily life. How do you speak to your parents, your siblings, strangers? And more importantly, how do you speak to someone considering you for marriage? A sharp tongue turns emotional safety into fear. And no matter how pious you are, no one wants to walk into a marriage where they don't feel emotionally safe. You could be righteous in your worship, generous in charity, known for your knowledge, but if your words consistently belittle, correct, or dismiss others, they may choose to walk away. Not because you're unworthy, but because being near you doesn't feel safe. A beautiful soul must speak in a beautiful tone. So ask yourself, do my words open hearts or shut them down? Because the right person may have already approached and quietly left, wounded by your tone. 2. The habit of hidden pride. Not all arrogance is loud. It doesn't always strut through the room or post flashy photos. Sometimes it whispers. It hides behind religious devotion, behind external modesty. You might dress humbly, pray on time, memorize surahs, but inside, a quiet thought lingers. I deserve better than them. They're not on my level. You may never say it out loud, but that silent pride builds expectations that are impossible to meet. You start evaluating people based on superficial standards: looks, income, family, background, lifestyle. You overlook sincere, kind, God-fearing individuals simply because they don't fit your imagined ideal. That kind of thinking isn't discernment, it's ego. And ego pushes blessings away. Allah warns in Surah Al-Isra, verse 37, "Do not walk upon the earth with pride. Indeed, you will never tear the earth apart, and you will never reach the mountains in height." Pride weighs down your soul and blinds you from seeing the value in others. Shaitan wasn't condemned because he refused to worship. He was condemned because he thought he was better. When you reject someone, be honest with yourself. Was it because of their character or because of your pride? Sometimes you're not being selective, you're being self-righteous. You're waiting for someone to meet your ego's demands, not your soul's needs. And in doing so, you may be rejecting the one Allah designed to bring peace into your life. So remove the pride. Approach marriage with humility, because the right person won't be perfect, but they will be perfect for your growth, your deen, and your heart. 3. The habit of emotional investment in the wrong places. It's easy to say you're waiting for a halal relationship, but what's happening in your private life? Are you entertaining attention from people you know aren't serious? Flirting just to feel seen? Staying in conversations that feel exciting but go nowhere? This is emotional infidelity, quiet, unspoken, but spiritually draining. You say you want a righteous spouse, but your heart is still tangled in harem attachments. You stay up texting someone you know isn't in your future. You crave the thrill of attention more than the peace of sincerity. The Prophet said, "Whoever leaves something for the sake of Allah, Allah will replace it with something better." That applies to people too. You cannot receive what is sacred while holding on to what is sinful. Emotional energy is not infinite. You're filling your heart with confusion, which leaves no room for the clarity of divine love. Let go. Stop replying to every message. Stop romanticizing attention that leads nowhere. Clean your emotional slate. If you truly want someone pure and intentional, you must first become someone emotionally available for what is real. And that means releasing what never had a future in the first place. 4. The habit of letting fear lock the door. Some people aren't single because they haven't been approached. They're single because they're afraid. Afraid to open their hearts again. Afraid of another disappointment. Afraid that love will hurt just like it did before. You've been through pain. You've been left on read. You've been ghosted, misled, betrayed. So now, when someone sincere comes along, you sabotage it with doubt. You overthink every text. You assume they're lying. You close the door before they even knock. Not because they're wrong, but because fear speaks louder than faith. But Allah says in Surah At-Tawbah 9:51, "Say, nothing will happen to us except what Allah has written for us. He is our protector, and upon Allah let the believers rely." Fear may feel like protection, but it's actually isolation. Marriage requires trust. Not blind trust in people, but trust in Allah. You won't find peace by pushing everyone away. You'll find it when you say, "Ya Allah, I've been hurt, but I'm ready to try again for your sake." Don't let your past dictate your future. The person written for you might be waiting patiently right outside the walls you built. Let go of fear. Let faith guide your next decision. Because love doesn't bloom in locked gardens. 5. The habit of postponing growth until marriage. One of the most common spiritual traps is believing that marriage will fix everything. That once you find the right person, your character will improve, your prayers will become consistent, your patience will develop. But this thinking is backwards. Marriage doesn't transform you. It reveals who you already are. If you're not working on yourself now, marriage will not magically build you. It will expose the flaws you hid and test the patience you never practiced. The Prophet advised, take advantage of 5 before 5. That includes your free time before you're busy and your youth before it's gone. This single season is not a punishment. It's a divine training ground. It's the time to sharpen your habits, strengthen your character, purify your heart. Spiritual procrastination is one of the most dangerous delays. You keep saying soon, but the more you delay growth, the more you delay your readiness. Sometimes Allah doesn't withhold a spouse. He withholds it out of mercy because He knows you're not prepared. Not emotionally, not spiritually, not yet. So act now. Don't wait to be chosen to become better. Become better so that when you are chosen, you bring light into someone else's life. The door to marriage isn't just about who knocks. It's about whether you're truly ready to open it with grace, growth, and God-consciousness. Closing message. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. Even if you've made mistakes, even if you've spoken harshly, acted pridefully, entertained distractions, or allowed fear to rule, Allah's mercy is still reaching for you. But healing starts with honesty. It's not about being perfect. It's about being sincere. Reflect on your habits. Be brave enough to let go of what's been holding you back. Speak with kindness. Choose humility. Close the doors to emotional confusion. Open your heart with faith. Start growing now. Allah says in Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:11. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. So change today, because the blessing you seek is not behind a locked door. It's waiting at the door of your growth. May Allah guide your efforts, protect your heart, and send someone who values your soul and helps lead you to Jannah. Amin.